morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. I am live and I am late. It is 11:24 on Tuesday, the 16th of April, and we have had a bit of a drama this morning. The internet has gone off in the house and will be off for the next few days, so I don't expect a stream on Wednesday or probably Thursday, although I will pencil one in for Thursday, but we made it just about. Now, I'm glad you're all here and I'm glad I made it. Good morning to Mags, Diabliski, Kishan is here, Hidden Agendas is here. I hope you're all doing exceptionally well. Let's get on with the show. And I'll try and do everything in an hour. Everything is everywhere. I do have, however, what I am doing in front of me. Good morning, Fran. So what we're going to go through today, we have some X-Files as always. Then we have some news about Bitcoin, XRP, stablecoins in the UK. We have, and I'd done such a good job of getting the stream ready for today. I was going to take you through I found a really nice calculator for dollar cost averaging. Then we're going to look at Mantle, which is a project that a lot of people are talking about. And then we're going to finish with my conclusions. And that's pretty much it for the day. I'm going to try and be done by 25 past 12. Oh, music. Of course. This is what happens when you go live and you are not prepared. I'll start again, shall I? 16th of April, 11:25. I am late. We've had to rush to get here, but we have a lot of good things to go through. The X-Files, as always, the $100,000 target for Bitcoin, XRP, stablecoins, a dollar cost average in strategy, not a dollar cost average out strategy. And then Mantle is a project that a lot of people are talking about. So we're going to have a quick look at that. That is the plan for the day so far. And then hopefully everything else today will fall back into place and we'll be back to normal. Now, the markets are still taking a hammering. We are down another 4.7% at 2.31 trillion. Volume is still above 100 billion, 112 billion in volume. That's only down a touch. Bitcoin dominance, 54%. ETH dominance down at 16%. There was a time, not so long ago, when Bitcoin and Ethereum accounted for about 70% dominance in the market. It's dropped. We're now down to 60%. So, I know we're still at 70%, but Bitcoin has taken up the slack of Ethereum. Halving is in 3 days' time. 3 days, next Saturday. That is when we will be halving the daily rewards from 900 to 450. And there's a lot of speculation where we're going to be in the markets. Bitcoin then is down to $63,500. We did have the wick down over the weekend to 61,003, I think it was. Then we've come out all the way back up. I said yesterday 67,000 was going to be the make or break for Bitcoin, and we didn't, and we came down again. So we're going to go over that and have a look at the price targets. Ethereum, I believe today dropped below $3,000. We're now back at 3,100. We've recovered a tad. Now 24-hour gainers and losers. I'm not expecting there to be too many gainers. Core is up and Celestia is up a touch. Not many gainers. Losers, however, I'm expecting everything to be bleeding against Bitcoin and bleeding in general. Dog with hat. Remember, that was over $4. I just didn't see the value in it. I think it nearly hit $5 billion market cap. That's retraced 34% in the last week. Neo is down, VeChain is down, Bonk is getting hammered, Bitcoin Cash is down, Immutable X, Toncoin, Audi, they're all down. And remember what we said yesterday, if you're in this for the long run, then these are buying opportunities. So whether if you want to buy Solana at $200, feel free. But when Solana is on sale, what is Solana today? Solana is at $150, $137 for Solana. I mean, that's a bargain. That is a bargain. Are we going to go lower? Possibly. All depends. It's very difficult to say. We've got macro news. We've got inflation news. We've got the halving coming up. This week is going to be volatile as it is. We could be at a $200 Solana this time next week, or we could be at $110 Solana next week. It's very difficult to say right now. And anybody that tells you with absolute certainty they know what's going to happen, I wouldn't believe everything they're going to say. So let's get on with some X-Files. Snippets of information that we have retrieved from around the web, and specifically Twitter, that we like to show you that aren't quite newsworthy. So as you can see, Elmo has been called in to help President Biden understand what's going on in the latest global conflict. Remember, Biden is a weak president of America, and weak presidents of America or China or Russia, for that example, those superpowers cannot afford to have weak presidents. It leads to other countries starting their own conflicts without fear of retribution from America. It leads to the downfall of the markets. It leads to inflation. It leads to all kinds of things. Without a firm hand at the wheel, then everything is going to go slightly pear-shaped for a while. However, there is some good news on the horizon. Sentiment, who we follow, trader optimism is high after the Hong Kong approved spot Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF. We covered that yesterday. Unsurprisingly though, the initial market impact has been negative, with Bitcoin dropping 4.5%. There comes a point where buyers become exhausted, sellers become exhausted. Do I think that we're in a phase now where the sellers start to become exhausted? We will wait and see. We will wait and see. And finally then, and we have no idea how to keep track of time here. Are we 11:31? So Jupiter, on Wednesday, the second round of voting will begin. 6 candidates: Digital Social ID, Uprock, Monkey God Labs, which is a DEX, Sourceful, Nyan Heroes, and Sanctum. Now remember, I've made a video about all of these tokens, very briefly explaining what each one does. My vote is going to be for Nyan Heroes. It's a AAA game. Brogan, the in-house gaming expert, thinks it's a great game, so that's going to get my vote. There is one other thing to add to this, that breaking news. For those of you that are watching and have voted in round 1, you'll know that the Sharkify token drop is today. Now, it is not. There's all kinds of miscommunication from the teams at Jupiter and Sharkify. The airdrop today is for their OG holders. It is not for holders of Jupe. So if you voted in round 1 and you're expecting your Sharkify drop today, it's not going to happen. You're going to get your drop in July. This airdrop today is for the people that have been using Sharkify for the last 2 years, the people that took part in Zeely, the people that took part in their Discord giveaway, bounty scheme, whatever you want to call it. It's not for you if you've been holding Jupe. And I know that people like Kishan, I know people like Tariq out there, I know you've all voted and you're waiting for your tokens, but it isn't like Zeus. As far as I'm aware, we are also going to get additional Zeus tokens in July as well. It's not been communicated. It's really poor. But anyway, let us move on to talk about this target for Bitcoin. Now, you have to remember that lots of influencers are going to give you lots of targets for Bitcoin and for crypto. And you also have to take each one with a pinch of salt. Don't believe everything you read online. Don't believe everything you hear online either. Remember, this is only his opinion and this is only my opinion. But in his opinion, he believes that $100,000 is in play after the flash crash. And despite the recent dip, a major institutional update in Asia gives reason to believe in a historic bull run by year's end. Now, he isn't the only person, Scott Melker, who believes that we're going to hit $100,000. Lots of other people $5,000, and other people are saying that Solana is going to hit $1,000. I don't know. They could all be right, or they could all be absolutely wrong. If you look at the daily chart, we are ranging between 74 and 60,007, according to Scott Melker. There's always panic at the bottom of the range, but inevitably it tends to be a good place to buy Bitcoin before the consolidation ends and price heads back up. Remember, Brogan's target, he has a target of 90-odd thousand, I believe. So even he is super bullish at this moment in time. I'm not super bullish, to be perfectly honest with you. I am bullish, but I am not bullish to the point where I think we're going to be at $100,000 by the end of the month. I think it's going to take us a long time. But anyway, let's go through this. So he thinks that there's always panic. We've said he also points to Tim Draper's $250,000 Bitcoin prediction. Can Bitcoin reach $250,000 by the end of 2024? Only time will tell. I don't believe so. That's a 4x from here. That is going some to get to $250,000. We know why we are so bullish. We are seeing a massive influx of money from the Bitcoin ETFs. That's the simple reason. It's also pre-halving bullishness that we've seen. The question is, how much higher are we going to go before we have a correction deeper down than where we are? We're going to go through that as well. So the United States is not the only country now approving Bitcoin spot ETFs. Hong Kong has given the green light. Asia has given the green light. I think even Europe has several Bitcoin ETFs. But the difference is, if you combine all of these ETFs in Europe and Asia together, they are a drop in the ocean compared to BlackRock and Fidelity and the big 9 or 11, however many there are in America. So even though this is great news, and even though China can use Hong Kong as a proxy to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, number one, it's not live yet. It doesn't go live for maybe a week or so. And number two, we don't know how much demand that's going to bring in from China, if any. So it's more speculation on the Hong Kong side, but it's bullish news, and that's what we want. This bullish news needs to continue to help us push Bitcoin on to where we expect it to go. Good morning, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. I apologize for being late. The key takeaway: as the result of a significant new institutional market gaining access to crypto, a bull run driving the price well into six figures may be in play by year's end. I believe that these approvals will drive massive adoption, just like Tim Draper does, and that's only a good thing for the market. Now, we're going to go and have a look at the chart, because as the chap here refers to, it's always darkest before the dawn. Bitcoin is always gloomy, and you are going to hear people saying zoom out. I know that, and that is one thing that we always try and do. And this is the daily chart, and this line down here is the 60,660 price that I think we need to stay above. However, as I said on the show yesterday, if we zoom all the way out, this is my line in the sand that I think we could come down and touch. I think we could come down to 54.3 or 52.5. Now, I don't think we're going to do this, by the way. I think we will do some kind of similar movement here, maybe wick down, bounce, before moving up. I don't know when that's going to happen. Again, everything is reliant on these ETFs. If the ETFs buy and the market sentiment starts to change, then what we could do is maybe we don't come all the way down to here. Maybe we come down to here, which is 60,600, and then move back up. Remember, there's a big area here around this level, and I said yesterday that we needed to break above this line here, which was 66.1. And if you look at where we came up to yesterday, we came up to 66 and change. We wicked up to 67.1. We didn't hold it. We've come crashing down again. So this is the issue. This line here, which has been support, is going to turn into resistance. And that's the issue. We need to see some kind of break. But what is likely to happen is this, I think, over the short term. Now, as I said, there are people now calling for $35,000 and $40,000 Bitcoin These are the same people that call for $100,000 Bitcoin and $90,000 Bitcoin. They go where the traffic and the attention and the readership is going. So in a bear market, when the prices are going down, like we've seen ever since the 8th of April, which is only a week ago, we're seeing people that as the price is doing this, they're giving you price targets of up here. And as we're doing this, they're giving you price targets down here. Now, I'm not going to do that because I don't think we've really done anything other than correct for a week. And we've corrected for a week during quite a turbulent time. Remember, on Saturday, that was quite a significant incident that happened. And had that happened 6 months ago, we could have seen a 25-35% drop. And in essence, we saw a 15% drop. And we have found some level of support. But the issue is, every time we do this, we break down. So are we going to see that again? That's the question. I said yesterday, when we opened, we're either going to pump or we're going to dump, which sounds really ironic because I tried to cover both angles, but I didn't. What I meant was, we need to get above this 67,000 and then push higher, or we're going to get rejected and we're going to come down. And we have done. But we've now found another level of support down here, which is where this volume area is over here. This is at 63 and a bit. We can go further down, but again, I'm not going to make predictions. If you're holding Bitcoin for the bull run, it doesn't matter what I'm showing you now. It matters in the respect that you might want to buy more. So if you want to buy more, I would say anything under 60,000 in this area here, this is the place to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to leave that box there. Actually, can I move that box along a bit? Or is that going to? Oh, look at that. There we go. So I think anything in that area is a good place to buy Bitcoin. We need to worry if we break this line at 52.4. If we break that and we keep going down, then there is time for a worry. What we're likely to see is a post-halving mini bear market. So as long as we stay above 54, I think we're good. If we can stay above 60, fantastic. Remember, we're in a different dynamic. The market is different now than it was 6 months ago. We've got the ETFs. We shouldn't be too pessimistic on where we are. But Ben Cowan, again, I'll refer you to Ben Cowan. Ben Cowan thinks we're 60% further along in the market than where he thinks we should be. He thinks Bitcoin should be between 30 and 40,000 based on historical Bitcoin prices at this time of the market. Now, the reason, in my opinion, we are so much higher is simply down to the fact that we have so much new money coming in. So we've shifted the price up by 50%. And that's why we're around the 63, 64 level. But as you can see on my screen, 74,000, that is still my target for Bitcoin. And that's where I think we need to reach. I did bring it down here because that's where we need to break at the minute. But that is, around here is my target for Bitcoin. And if you do this, you will see that we could do that kind of movement in about a week to 10 days. So all is not lost because we've come down a little bit. All is not lost. Do not panic. Now then, we briefly mentioned XRP selling, withdrawing 500 million XRP. English news coming out from XRP. The XRP environment ecosystem has received 300% in crypto investment inflows while the XRP ETF talks disappear. This was never going to happen. This is never going to happen at this moment in time. We have another year before we get the Ethereum ETF. When that happens, are we going to be looking at XRP first, or are we going to be looking at Solana first? In my opinion, we're going to go down the route of Solana, not XRP. So I said the same thing about Ethereum. I said we were never going to get accepted in May because it's apples and pears with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is proof of work. It's decentralized. It's uncensorable, has no head. Ethereum is exactly the opposite. It's proof of stake now. It has Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation as its head. You could claim that there is an ICO involved with Ethereum, That's what the SEC will claim, and there will be a fine, and it will take a year to resolve. So they are not the same. Solana could be next, not XRP. However, that doesn't mean that XRP is a dead project. As you know, I'm a big fan of XRP. So this surge, we're going to go down here. The total inflows into investment products reached 11 million since the beginning of the year. XRP has positioned itself as a leading contender among altcoins, surpassing Solana and Cardano. Now, this is the chart. You've probably seen this an awful lot on here before. This is like the standard inflow outflow chart that you get for years, months, and weeks. And Bitcoin, as you can see, year to date takes up 98% of all of the inflows are going into Bitcoin. Ethereum doesn't really get a look in. But XRP down there at the bottom, if you look at the amount of inflows, we are looking fairly reasonable compared to others. Cardano, for example, if you look at Litecoin's seen a pump because of the ETF news. But for a dead coin, allegedly, XRP is not doing too badly. That's why I think people are writing it off too soon. Don't write off XRP. Polkadot is on there as well. Polkadot is starting to make a lot of noise. I'm not really going to cover Polkadot that much because I'm really not a fan. Not a fan of Polkadot. Not a fan of Gavin. That's why we don't cover Polkadot on the channel. But XRP, write that off at your peril. The surge in investment comes at a time when the broader market dynamics are shifting. Bitcoin retained positive month-to-date inflows, despite 110 million in outflows last week. Ethereum is facing significant challenges. Now, my issue is, does this show you, this Ethereum weekly and month-to-date outflows, does this tell you that people have given up on the Ethereum ETF this year? I think it does. Because if we were looking at an Ethereum ETF in May, these numbers would be a lot higher, in my opinion. So I think Ethereum is going to suffer a lot more. I think if we come out of this halving at 65 to 70,000 for Bitcoin, we need Ethereum to hold 3,000. It's already broken below 3,000 a couple of times. Now, XRP, on the other hand, is currently, I think, starting to fall into the kill zone, as we call it. Kill zone is an area where, if you believe in a token, you should be picking up this token. And I think we're heading towards it. There we are. Right, okay, so let me bring this up to the daily and show you what I mean. So, this is its support band, and it was below here in January. We broke up, we were looking up. We even broke as high as 72 cents. We're down at 50 cents. This area here, all of this area here, for me, is a price to accumulate XRP. I am not going to tell you XRP is going to $68 or $52 or whatever magic number the XRP army tell you it's going to go to. I think between $3 and $5. That's between a 6x and a 10x. Not bad, really. You put $100 in today, that $100 could become $500, $600, $700, $800 at the end of the bull run. XRP as well could become a long-term hold. I've mentioned before about what you should sell off at the end of the bull run. And in my opinion, and it is my opinion, you should be looking at selling everything off apart from Bitcoin. However, if XRP starts to detach itself from the cycle, and that's what a lot of people don't talk about, is coins have the ability to run independent of markets. And if XRP starts to look towards introducing CBDCs, not just talking about it, their own stable coin is on the horizon. Stable coins generate billions and billions in revenue. We're talking about the coin being 49.5 cents. There is a lot of FUD around XRP. There's a lot of mud being slung at Brad and the team for the way the token unlocks work. I'm not going to fall into that category. You need to look at XRP as an investment. You don't look at it as a he said, she said. Is XRP a good investment? Will it make money? Yes. Does it have a market lead? Yes. Is it doing things that other coins are not presently doing? Yes. So it has a market lead, it has a market presence, it's spent 3 or 4 years building it out. It takes time. The same with Chainlink. These are projects that don't launch on day one and suddenly become overnight successes. It takes time. So XRP is never going to come off my top 10 coins to hold during a bull market. And if they start to do these CBDCs, why would you start to sell XRP? Because it's going to hold its value outside of the traditional pump and the traditional dump that you see. So for me, good price to buy XRP is anywhere above 40 to 60 cents, I would say. No, let me give you a bit more accurate here. Anywhere between 46 and 56 cents is a good price to buy XRP, in my opinion, down here. And, you know, we can go lower. Don't forget that we can go much lower. If you look at previous levels down here, just to give you another level, we probably have that level there, which is 42 cents. And actually, we did wick down to that. So there we go. So there's another area of confluence. 42 cents we could come down to next if there's another correction. So if Bitcoin breaks 60,000, starts heading towards 58,000, then expect XRP to go to 42 cents. And if I was you and you've got some money on the side, look to dollar cost average in. That's what I would be doing right now, even if you do it over the next 3 months. So if you have, let's say for argument's sake, you have $1,200. Over 3 months, that's $100 a week. You might want to be putting $50 into Bitcoin, for example, $25 into Ethereum, for example, and $25 into something like XRP or Solana. I'm not saying that's what you should do. Are we back? If we are back. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Ah, there we go. I think we're back. Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bullish Bull. Good morning. I'm getting an awful lot of messages on here that I haven't read. I do apologise. Kishan, -4 to +4 should happen by tomorrow. -4 to +4 on what? Bullish Bull, I'm giving you a like. Thank you. Good morning, Tariq. Hidden Agendas lag. Yes, we're back now. Fine. Okay, so let's get on with the show. What did I say? We would finish by 20 past, 25 past, I think we said. We are really ahead of time, but that is because the DCA element is going to be quite chunky. So UK is to implement new crypto stablecoin legislation by Q3. This is excellent news. The reason being is that stablecoins in America are often seen as a bad thing. People don't like them. They see them as a threat to the dollar. They see them as scams, mainly because the politicians tell them they're scams. However, when you have a financial powerhouse like Hong Kong or Singapore or the UK, London, issuing guidance on how to issue stablecoins, this is only a good thing for crypto. Remember, people have got very short memories. This would not be something we would be covering here 3 or 4 years ago. Even when we started, which was about 2 years ago, we wouldn't have covered anything like this on the channel. This isn't just acceptance. This is acknowledgement that crypto is going to become part of our lives. Now, Peter Schiff was interviewed on one of the American shows yesterday, and he was destroyed. He was destroyed by a girl who went on there and explained why gold is just a toy for the elites, a toy for the rich people. And Bitcoin is the only true, real, free asset. You can have a mobile phone in your pocket, you can have a ledger in your pocket. Nobody in the world can touch your assets that are on that ledger. They are yours. You are a free man, you are a free woman. Now, on the other side of that, we cannot have the Wild West. We cannot have cowboys running around willy-nilly doing everything they want to every currency and every asset class in the world. We need regulation. So the two things we want, adoption and regulation. Drill those two things into your head. This is regulation. This is good. It doesn't matter what people tell you about fight the power and down with the establishment. It's utter nonsense. We'd end up in chaos. So when we see regulation being introduced somewhere like the UK, we need to don our cap and thank them, because that shows that we are heading towards integration into the establishment. So the Economic Secretary Bim Afalami announced that this at the Innovative Finance Global Summit this week. He emphasized the rapid progress being made to establish a comprehensive regulatory framework and said the government is quickly advancing the legislation that will finalize the new proposals. Once implemented, this legislation will bring various cryptocurrency operations, including exchanges and custodial services, under regulatory oversight for the first time. This is good news. Earlier last year, the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, and the Bank of England contributed their expertise to shape the approach to stablecoins. The Bank of England will oversee stablecoin entities. Excellent decision, because the Bank of England, for those of you that don't know, the Bank of England are independent of the government of the day. Why is that a good thing? Because in the past, when it wasn't, the government of the day would change interest rates and change policies to suit their political party. And that's not how you can run a country, in my opinion. The government should look after how money is being spent to look after its people. The Bank of England should make sure that the country doesn't go bust or hyperinflate. They're two separate entities. This is good news that it comes under the Bank of England. The London Stock Exchange last week began accepting the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETNs. These are similar to ETFs in America in the fact that they have to be backed one for one. So if you have an ETF worth one Bitcoin, there needs to be one Bitcoin in existence to back that note. So again, it's not an ETF, it's an ETN. In May the 28th, these ETNs will go live and institutional investors will be able to buy crypto for the first time. Again, good news. And don't forget, the UK still accounts for about 30% of global currency trade behind America. So it's still a big market, and it's still a big market to have access to. So overall, more bullish news. And we need bullish news in a time where people are scared. Now, I'm going to show you something. And we're going to do a show. And the show is going to be about dollar cost averaging out of crypto when the time comes. So what I've got here, I don't know how big it is on your screen. I don't want to make it too big, but we will start. So we have chosen Bitcoin. And we have started with an initial investment of $10,000. And we have a monthly investment of $100 starting in December 2018. So that is about just under 5.5 years. Now, your $10,000 investment and $100 every month would have got you $16,500 total investment. That would now be worth $180,000 today. So you would have 10x'd your money over that period of time. But I'm not showing you this to show you how much you could have won. This is to show you how it works. So if you start down here and you put $1,000 in, and you put a monthly investment of $10 in, and you didn't start till 2022, for example. Now, is there a button to press to make this work? There we go, it's there. Okay, so had you started at the end of 2022 and you ran this until the end of 2024, now we're going to change this actually because we want this to run to the end of 2025. And we're going to go for where I think the bull run could end, for argument's sake, which is October 2025. Now, it's not going to work out completely, but there we go. I'm just showing you an example. So the total investment was $1,170. The percentage gain is 245%. Remember, that is between the end of 2022 and today, not moving forward just yet. But still, you would have made 245%. Now, this is one of those things about, a good analogy is, you have a train, and that train started in 2014. and that train isn't going to finish until 2040. It doesn't matter when you get on that train. Getting on the train is the first step. Your first initial investment, your monthly investment, would have made you, over the last year and a bit, it would have made you 245% profit. That is fine looking back and saying, well, that's 2020 vision, 2020 hindsight. And I agree. But if you never get on the train, you're going to be on the platform. And the longer you leave it, the more expensive that train journey is, because the train is moving along. The train was at $20,000, then it was at $40,000, then it's at $60,000. Now we're at $65,000 or $63,000. At which point are you going to get on the train to buy Bitcoin? Now, if you did it today, and this is what I was saying on yesterday's stream, if you join the train today and you buy at 63, 60, 57, 54, 51, 48 over the next 6 or 8 or 12 weeks, guess what? Your average price of Bitcoin won't be 63,000. It might be 55,000. And you'll think, you know, I was buying it at 63,000. I should have waited. You never know when the price is going to go down and going to go up. That's why dollar cost averaging works. It takes an average of all your buys. Had you started buying at $15,000 and you were still buying at $63,000, would you care if you're buying at $55,000 when you've got a bag from $15,000? The way to think of it in your head is very simply, this train has a destination. I am not going to stay on this train for the entire journey, but I'm going to be on it long enough for it to make me whatever my target is. And that's what we're going to talk about in a video that we're going to do further down the line. We'll do a special, we'll do a Wednesday night show, we'll give away some tokens, and we'll talk about dollar cost averaging out of the market. But for today, this calculator, which is on tipranks.com, this allows you to put in the amount, put in a monthly investment, put a start date in and an end date in. Forget that bit, it doesn't work at the minute, but it gives you a nice way of seeing how to dollar cost average into a market. And it's not going to be the same for everybody. And I know that people like to buy the dips, but don't panic about buying today and the price going down, because that's what dollar cost average is for. You buy today, it drops. You buy next week, it drops. You buy the following week, it drops. We're in a bull market. It's not going to go down forever. At some point in the next 18 months, we're going to see some top signals, potentially. And that's when you need to make the decision to leave. And that's for the next stream or the next video special that we do on this, which will be some way away. Now then, we're going to move on slightly. And if you do want to find that, all I did was type in, I don't know how to show you the link, but it's on tipranks.com. Personal finance, investing in retirement, dollar cost averaging, that's it. But again, if you want the link, I can send it to you in Telegram or whatever else you're watching on. I don't actually know what platforms we are live on. I know we're live on one particular platform. I don't know if we're live anywhere else. I haven't even had a chance to log in and check. I hope some of you are watching this. Somebody's asked, what is the Bitcoin next move? If I knew that, I would be a millionaire. I think the next move for Bitcoin is going to be, if I was a betting man, I would say we were going to try, I think we would come down to 60,600. That's my gut. I think we don't have enough positivity in the market to drive the price up. I then think next week, when we've had the halving and the Hong Kong ETFs go live, which is bullish news, not necessarily bullish for the number of Bitcoin being bought, then I think the narrative will change. But for the next 5 to 6 days, I think we are going to be going down. And again, I could be wrong. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. And I'm saying that we're going down in the hope that we're going up, so you can all tell me that was wrong. But I think we'll come down to 60,000. And if we do come down lower, the worst case scenario for me is 52 to 54,000 is the worst case scenario. And bear in mind, if I said to you 6 months ago, the worst case scenario for Bitcoin was 52 to 54,000, you'd have thought, well, that's a long way up from where we are today. Alternatively, when we were at 74,000, if I said the lowest is 52,000, do you want to buy $52,000 Bitcoin? You'd say yes. So look at it as a buying opportunity. Don't panic. Don't worry about the price. We are going to move on and we're going to move up. It's going to take some time. Now then, let me bring up the news. We're going to have a quick look at Mantle, if the link decides to work for me. Okay, well, that's the right link, but that isn't the right website. There we go. Okay. So, trader bullish on Mantle Network amid Ethereum's altcoin surge. Now, I don't know how old this article is. This is the 13th of April, so it's not that old. So this person is well aware of the dip that we've had. Now, I'm not just going to go over this article. What I have got here is I have CoinMarketCap, which has been causing my BTC to die a little bit over the last few days. So we have the website, we have the tokenomics here, and then we have the article about the project. So let's go through the article, then we'll look at the website, then we'll look at the tokenomics. For those of you that don't know anything about Mantle, I don't hold any. I'm not sponsored by Mantle or anything like that, but lots of people talk about the project. So let's get into it when it loads. No, give me a second. Right, there we go. I'm all over the place. Right, altcoin Sherpa predicts Mantle Network will surge beyond its all-time highs, boosting investor confidence. The Mantle Network's mainnet V2 up aims to tackle Ethereum's issues with high gas fees and slow transactions. The Mantle Network, MNT, is a prominent Layer 2 blockchain project, and it's capturing the attention of investors and analysts. Renowned crypto strategist altcoin Sherpa has expressed bullish sentiment towards the project, with a current down a little bit. What's the current price today? See, the markets have moved so quickly. It's at 112. So I'm sure if he was, what he says, perceive Sherpa's proclamation as validating their bullish outlook on MNT. So the upgrade then, this is the important element. It unveiled its highly anticipated mainnet V2 tectonic upgrade. This upgrade promises to address some of the most pressing issues facing the Ethereum network: high gas fees and slow transaction times. Remember, layer 2s on Ethereum are there to solve a problem. There is a trilemma in crypto and in computer networks in general: speed, security, decentralization. SSD. Speed is often the one to lose out, especially Ethereum and Bitcoin. Security and decentralization, that's what Ethereum and Bitcoin are all about. Speed has been sacrificed, and layer 2s like Polygon, for example, which is my favorite layer 2, they come along and they have roll-ups. They combine all the transactions together. So rather than 1,000 transactions being added to Ethereum, it's one transaction that's being added to Ethereum, and the 1,000 transactions get processed on Polygon. Very simply how it works. One of the standout features of the mainnet V2 is the implementation of EIP 1559. This streamlines transaction fees on the Ethereum network. With a fixed block generation schedule, users can expect consistent and speedy transactions, eliminating the frustrations associated with transaction times. Now, we don't need to read any more of that. I don't want to get too technical in this. I just want to basically go through what they are. Now, let's go over and have a look at their project. Let's make sure we've got time. 10 past 12. I think we've been here for about 50 minutes. Let me just check. I don't want to overrun. 50 minutes we've been here. Mikey Brenton, 100,000 not likely until the summer. I think 100,000 isn't going to happen this year. I think the way I've remembered it, this is for the Bitcoin halving, you have 6 months after the Bitcoin halving for the supply shock to kick in. So that takes us from April the 20th to October the 20th. Then that leaves us November and December. December is a good month. We have the Santa Rally. November is normally a good month, but we have the summer lull. So we have July and August, all the traders go on holiday. So trading volumes fall away. So I think if we do hit 100K, it will be the very end of this year, but I'm more than likely expecting it to be the start of next year. But again, who am I? Their own token. They focus on hyperscale performance. They are built on Ethereum. They have liquidity staking protocols. Remember, we talk about LSTs a lot, liquid staking tokens, where you can stake your Ethereum and receive a synthetic version of your Ethereum. You then receive the increase in value via the increase in value of that token. Solana has the same thing. Solana has Marinade, it has Blaze, has loads of others over there. Ethereum's probably got about 15 or 20 different LSTs. So liquidity staking protocols are good. It has governance. It has a treasury, which is fully visible for you to see. Again, these are serious projects. We talk about meme coins on here, but we also talk about serious projects. If you have watched anything that we've done, we covered Omni. Again, I said that before, and somebody else that I follow, they said the same thing a few days ago. So clearly they've been listening to me. And that is that Ethereum is for institutions, Solana is for retail. That's how I see things playing out. Bitcoin isn't really anything to anybody other than a store of value and has a huge perceived value attached to that. Ethereum is going to be used by BlackRock. Ethereum is going to be used by Ondi, whichever one it's called. That's going to give you access to treasuries bonds and US dollars on the blockchain without your money ever having to leave crypto. So all of these things are coming. On the video that I made yesterday about the property, Relio, I think they were called, one of the things I mentioned in that video is that BlackRock expects the tokenization market to be worth 10 trillion anytime soon. That's 4 times the value of crypto combined. So that's how they are seeing crypto. And what platform do you think they are going to use? They are going to use Ethereum. So if you hold Ethereum, congratulations. If you don't hold Ethereum, seriously consider buying yourself some Ethereum or some layer 2s on Ethereum over the next 6 months. If the price goes down further, pick up a bit more. I'm obviously a big fan of Matic. I don't even know what the price of Matic is. I think that's been smashed to pieces. 71 cents isn't too bad. Right at this moment in time, that token at the halving should be between $1 and $1.50 in my opinion. But we've had a huge correction. All altcoins have bled against Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin, it's down 10%. There aren't many coins that have lost less than 10% in the last week. Most have lost 20. Doge has lost 20, Cardano 23, Avalanche 27. I think Mantle must be down. Let me go have a look. Mantle must be down from its all-time high about 35%. So very quickly going to go and look at the Mantle tokenomics and then we are done. Let's very quickly go and check on this. Come on. Right, so Mantle is $1.11. The market cap 3.6 billion. Enter the top 30 without anybody really noticing. So even after the massive correction, it's still ranked 27th. Volume isn't too high. Circulating supply, 52% is in circulation. Those kind of things, they worry me, I'll admit, because emissions can devalue your coin. We've seen it very recently with Arbitrum, where the price dropped 30-40% in the space of a couple of weeks because of the release. mantle, if that unlocked over a period of 10 years or 8 years, then that's going to be a 4 or 5% every year on that token. Polygon, they all have their own quirks. There's the gaming layer too as well. They all have their own niche, but they all try and solve the same problem, which is you cannot process transactions on Ethereum. It just falls to pieces. And that's really pretty much about it. Right, it is now 12:17. I think we're at the end of the show. It's been a bit of a nightmare getting this show done. So I do apologise for being late. I think we went live about 20 past. So we've done the show kind of on time, maybe a little bit early, but I don't have any of my gadgets near me. I don't have my phones on me. So thank you to everybody that showed up. I'm not sure if there's going to be a show tomorrow, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a show on Thursday, because we have to get the internet fixed in the house. So I will be back. I will still make videos. I just don't know when. I don't know when I'm going to upload them. I don't know anything yet, but we should be back. The worst case scenario is Friday or Thursday afternoon. I'm going to find out. So with all that being said, thank you for everybody that waited. I know we went live late. Thank you for the people that hung around. I'll try not to make a habit of that. And have a great day. Remember, Bitcoin is in a very volatile period. We could go to 66, 67,000 today. We could drop to 60,000 today. I really don't know, and I'm being honest with you. But don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, hit the follow button, hit everything else that you can. And I will see you all in the morning. Take care.